What's up, guys? Very special episode today. We're gonna get right down into it. We're gonna learn so much about so many animals none of us even know existed. Stay tuned. Let's have some fun.
What's up, man? How are you? Just speaking.
Guys, the one and only Quetzal from Costa Rica, now in Texas, Johnson City, Reptilandia, Reptile Lagoon. I mean, I've seen a lot of crazy reptile habitats and exhibits and places around the world, but man, this place is unlike any other. I mean, multi-species in one habitat.
You want to start over here?
Yeah, man. Show us, give us a full rundown of your favorites over here.
All right. These right in here are Sila forest turtles. I don't see any right now, but
Only back there.
Okay, I'll pull them out for you.
Sulawesi forest turtles.
Yeah, these are critically endangered. They were fairly recently in terms of the history of science described. They're a lot like a North American wood turtle. And the thing that a lot of with the species that a lot of people don't understand is they swear that they kill each other. Okay? But you see we've got a lot of vertical space for these here. And that lets them establish an order. None of them are on the branches right now, but they climb all over the cage. They get up and around, and that lets them establish who's the boss, and the dominant male gets to climb to a certain spot, so it's not like a free-for-all. So we keep a large grouping here, and we're doing really well with them. Let me pull one out.
But how would they kill each other?
Just from biting each other and harassing each other.
Wow. That's nuts. I got this habitat is bananas. All right. Up here, got welded steel poles with wire, real mesh wire up there. Different size light bulbs. Oh, look at that.
Here's one of the males.
Damn, dude. That's crazy looking.
These are in real trouble in the wild.
Yeah?
So we're putting a lot of effort into breeding these. We haven't had any eggs yet or babies, but I have a feeling with this type of setup, we're gonna see babies one day.
Dude, what an animal, huh? Sulawesi forest turtle, Indonesia.
Yes, correct.
Dude. And what are their cage mates up here? Is it Silver Dragon?
Yeah, it's a sailfin. That's a Hydrosaurus.
Nice. Dude, so sick. What a spot, man.
All right.
How many males versus females you got in there?
Okay, there's two males and there's 4 females. But they all get along.
How many eggs do you think they give?
They have like one big egg every 6 months, from what I understand. But a lot of forest turtles, they'll lay a big egg and they'll hardly bury it, and it'll hatch naturally. But this cage has got a lot of different temperature gradients. Like towards the back, that's cooler because that's an exterior wall, and in the front is a lot warmer. There's about 20 degrees of difference here. Wow! So they can choose their spots. I mean, one of my experiences in Costa Rica from turtles was that they always know better than we do. When I had them in big outdoor and cage enclosures, I always had better luck letting them choose where they would nest, and I'd have better luck then.
So sick, man.
Right. All right, let me move you guys along to something that you definitely don't see every day. This is called the Paren Monitor.
So leaving Indonesia and we're going straight to Australia. So these guys eat other monitor lizards, eat snakes, eat almost everything. Give us some facts on this guy.
So one of the interesting facts on these, these are very mobile. They have huge home ranges. There's, in theory, it's been speculated that these have actually spread, the distribution in Australia has increased because since the introduction of rabbits, because that's a food source, and but that hasn't been proven. That's just been speculated. These they're from arid areas. They don't get into jungles. It's like a rocky desert type of lizard. But they do, there's some great footage of these swimming in the ocean on a viral video.
So sick.
And they make it to a lot of the offshore islands in Western Australia where they'll eat baby sea turtles. And there's one place where they're known for using vehicles to ambush seagulls in Western Australia. I don't remember exactly where it is.
So smart.
Yeah.
So smart. I scraped from south of Sydney all the way up to Darwin, all the way down to Alice Springs, and didn't find any Parentians. So hopefully we go down to Western Australia, WA, and we'll get lucky next time.
Sooner or later you'll be able to find one, I'm sure. You know, we know the same people in Australia, and they're solid. And
Yeah, man.
I'm sure it's just a matter of time.
Bro, what a beast of a lizard, huh?
A Parenti. They have an interesting texture. Check out his texture.
So
It's not,
sick. It's not big scales.
yeah, it's small scales. It's different than most other monitors.
And this is the third largest, fourth largest.
Yeah, fourth largest.
Fourth largest. You get Komodos, water monitors, croc monitors, and then Parentians.
Yes, that's correct. This was born at the Dallas Zoo. And so this is a permanent loan.
Wow, man, that's a male, huh?
Yeah, it's a male.
Males bigger than females?
Yeah.
Oh, what, like around 7 foot?
Oh,
8 foot?
that's the maximum length, but I think the average is about 4 feet.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a big 4 feet, about as big around as a grapefruit.
Yeah, big.
So it's a substantial lizard.
Fast as all get out too, huh?
Yes.
I've seen some videos of them running, and I'm like, I don't think I could probably catch that.
Yeah. All right, these here are some Taylor's Cantiles. These are from Tamaulipas, Mexico.
Wow.
You know, a few hundred miles south of the Texan border. These are very beautiful, venomous snakes. You can see on these they have a colored tail, and they use that for to lure prey. It's kind of funny because you know, these are old animals, and the male lets the female do all the work. You know, she'll be wiggling the tail around and trying to lure, just hang out by her and let her do all the work, which is kind of funny.
That is really.
But interesting fact about these snakes, all of the Cantiles, there's it's currently understood there's 4 species that are described, and there's one undescribed species of these that we have in the other building that I'll show you in a little while. These in captivity, these will calm down if you have them in pairs or groups, you know, which is interesting. But you know, my thoughts on that is that it's a familiar smell. A lot of snakes live in a world of smell, and so it's like a familiar smell will calm them down. And there's been formal studies that, you know, if you leave a piece of shed skin in the cage or some urates and stuff like that, snakes will spend less time trying to get out because it's a familiar smell and it makes them calm down. It's not sterile.
So smart. So smart. All the tips and tricks from the gurus of the reptile world.
Here we have Pancake Tortoises. This is from Kenya, Tanzania, and Zambia. This is hands down the strangest tortoise.
Yeah.
You know, they've got soft shells.
For sure.
They got soft shells, and they live on like rocky outcrops. And
I mean, you got these habitats really escape-proof, huh?
oh yeah, I mean,
Ain't nothing getting out.
yeah. Let me reach in and grab you one. Okay.
Dude, that is crazy, huh?
This is our girl. We have one male, one female, and 3 males in there. This is another lizard that I'm going to allow to get its own to incubate. The eggs are going to incubate on their own. How long this time pulls out.
That is sick. I always wondered if people would start doing that.
Have you handled these before? You ever feel them? Feel how soft they
It's
are?
so soft, man. It's almost like delicate. You can feel the belly, it moves a little bit. I mean, the top of the it's not a hard shell tortoise. It's crazy, man.
And that's kind of, they have the same defense strategy as a chuckwalla. You know, they'll go into like, rock crevices, and then they'll fill with air, and there's no getting them out.
Yeah.
No getting them out without a crowbar.
They definitely can expand themselves, huh?
These are highly protected in the wild. These are not. There's no more of these are getting shipped out.
Yeah.
Because you know, for when these were being commercially collected, like I said with the crowbar thing, a lot of times the collectors, weren't conscious, and they would destroy the habitat when they were looking for them. But you know, enough people are into these, and there's a lot of them in captivity. A lot of them are in the right hands, and they're being bred.
Crazy how soft they are.
Yeah, it's very untortoise-like. You can put it back there. Yeah, wherever. They bounce around the whole cage.
Man, how do you come up with these crazy ideas and these designs for each habitat? Obviously, everyone's different.
It's basically like knowing, being familiar with the animal.
Yeah.
And the cage has it's got to look good because it's open to the public.
Yeah.
It's also got to work for the animal because that's the most important thing.
100%.
And it's got to be practical to service and
Yeah.
find eggs and stuff like that.
Ooh.
Very iconic North American snake.
Never seen one of these in the wild.
Nah.
Nope.
Yeah, they have them in northern Florida.
So sick.
Yeah, it's a neat snake. It's very.
We got you in here, huh?
Yeah. These are off the ground over there. Yeah, these are off the ground. I mean, just recently I had they found that these do spend a fair amount of time off the ground in the wild.
Yeah.
You know, there was an old picture from John James Audubon where he got a lot of criticism for drawing a painting of a rattlesnake in a tree. You know,
Yeah.
like rattlesnakes don't climb trees, but you know now in 2024,
It's a little different.
It's different with radio tracking. I've got buddies who do field work with these in upstate New York, and they find them off the ground quite a bit.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
Over here we have some beaded lizards. This is Heloderma exasperatum. This is the northernmost species of the beaded lizards.
Man. We got a couple in there, huh?
Yeah, we got 4 of them.
These habitats, guys, crazy. I mean, again, I'm not sure if you guys are picking it up on video, but to see everyone is completely different, completely structured a different way. It's really neat, man. Check this out, guys. So sick. Give some light if you guys can see that thing.
These have a neat texture. You've handled these before, right, Mike?
Yeah.
These also spend a fair amount of time off the ground.
Love to eat eggs, huh?
Yeah, I love to eat eggs. You see in the cage we have eggs, I think, but those are fake. You know, real eggs would last, a minute tops in this cage with the 4 of them.
These guys easy to breed?
Oh yeah, you have to just cool them down a bit.
Yeah.
They get dialed in.
That's neat, man.
They're, the eggs are used to be thought of as tricky to hatch. But those SIM containers,
Yeah.
Which were patented by an old buddy of mine, lifelong friend of mine in New York.
John.
Yeah, John O'Dragna.
Yeah, I get all my monitors from him.
Oh yeah, John's great.
He's amazing, man.
And he, those are perfect for hatching these. I had an interesting experience with these in the facility in Costa Rica. So I didn't have staff on weekends, right? And I had a cage somewhat like this, but it was triangular, and it was backfilled. You see, this is about 3 feet off the ground. It was backfilled, and we put a little. Or I had my guys down there, put a cement, floor, so they wouldn't dig. Get below that, so it'd be easy to find the eggs. And either they were mad at me, or for whatever reason they didn't do a great job of pouring the floor, and the lizards were able to bust through the cement. This happened on a Friday, okay? And so I couldn't dig up the eggs till Monday morning, because it's like I had no staff, and I couldn't get all of this. You can't excavate something like this, between 6 and 9. And there's not enough light in the afternoon between 5 and 6:30 when the sun goes down, so I had to wait. But that turned out to be a blessing in disguise, because the nesting was very, very complex. I saw the female had the egg, let's say there, the one was off the ground, okay? And then, later on when I finally found them, they were down there. But when she was hiding the eggs, it was really interesting. She'd take some dirt, she'd throw it in the water, she'd mix it with some of the dirt over there, some of the dirt over there, she'd take it on top of the nest, and she'd go to all the highest points and smell. Nope, wasn't satisfied with the work, take some dirt from there, mix it with the water, some dirt from there, some dirt from there, go back. And it took days for her to be satisfied with her work. Because these live in a world of smell,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of effort for them to lay the eggs, and they're going to make sure that nobody can get them.
So sick, man.
Yeah, so interesting, you know. So much
such
goes
intricate
into it.
animals. People always think that reptiles are just cold-blooded killers. No, they're actually very, very, very smart, very highly intelligent. And dude, look at that rattlesnake.
In here, this is a Mexican. You don't mind if I keep this closed?
No, it's fine, it's fine.
Okay. Yeah, this is arguably the largest species of rattlesnake. A lot of people say that the eastern diamondback is the largest.
That thing is beefy, huh?
But these get big. There is a Mexican guy who I trust, who told me that he was down in Nayarit, picking up one of these, and he said it was 3 meters long, which is a little more than 9 feet, and it was coiled up at the bottom. You know those oil drums type of things?
Yeah.
He said it was coiled up at the bottom of an oil drum, and you couldn't see the bottom of the drum. That's how much space it took up.
Damn.
Yeah. So that's.
Dude, look at that snake, huh? That is sexy.
It's what I like to call this color is like subtle beauty.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like a pea green, but it's not. So it's not like a flashy color, but it's like a subtle color.
I always love with snakes. They always have the patterns and it breaks down to like a variant, like speckles. Then it goes all blacktail.
Yeah.
So sick.
Yeah, they're all different. You know, it's like a fingerprint.
Yeah, man. Ooh, I love it. I love it. Guys, check out this giant Lacerda. Canary Islands, huh?
Yes, this is from Gran Canaria. This is a very interesting species. You know, these are almost completely herbivorous in the wild. I know that they're not beautiful, but they're really interesting. They get a good deal bigger than this. This is a female.
Dude, it's crazy.
The place that you and I used to work over there, when I first got there, I saw a huge male out, and I thought it was actually a rhino iguana that had escaped, but it was one of these. This is the female. She's a lot smaller. She feels like she got some eggies in there.
Yeah, a little thick girl, huh?
But, these are in real trouble in the wild because there's a population of introduced albino California king snakes of all things.
Really?
Yeah.
In Canary Islands.
In Canary Islands, and they're eating all of these up. So right now, there's still big ones around because that's too big a meal for a California king snake, and those are breeders, and they live a long time. But there's no mid-sized animals.
All juveniles.
Yeah, they're eating all the juveniles, some of those.
Damn. That's crazy to
Yeah.
think about that. A lizard living in the Canary Islands is now being eaten by a California king snake.
Yeah, albinos.
Albino California king snakes. Wait, what is this guy?
These are some European vipers, European longnose vipers. That's the female right there. The male is down here. These, I believe, are
Look how sexy that thing is.
These, I believe, are from Montenegro locality.
Damn. It's like a high red orange. Huh?
They can be very, very pretty.
I'm sure you guys are picking up, but that crazy little nose is nuts, huh? It's like those rhino rat snakes.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same idea. You familiar with, you probably got the mess with Lanceberg's vipers in Venezuela?
No?
No? Really? That's a common snake down there.
Lance heads?
Lanceberg's vipers. They look a lot like that.
No, I haven't seen any.
This is a Madagascar Exhibit, or Malagasy, let me say.
Malagasy.
A mutual friend, Ewing, who lived over there for a decade or so, always jumps all over me if I say Madagascar as opposed to Malagasy.
Oh man, Parsons chameleons in here.
There's a Parsons chameleon.
Day geckos.
You can't really see it in this cage, but I've got a friend who's one of the chameleon gurus. His name is Ron Tremper. And he put me up on a really interesting trick with chameleons. Because chameleons are very visual. And we don't really have it implemented in here because you can see we've got a lot of visual barriers. Yep. But a good trick with chameleons is if you have the perch, coming right at you. If it's coming straight at you, that way less of the chameleon's body is exposed when he's looking at you.
Gotcha, so once he's straight on.
Exactly. And that cuts down on the stress. They're less exposed like that.
And this Tremper is the guy that did all the leopard geckos, right?
Yeah. He's a neighbor. He lives right here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you'll meet him.
That is sick, man. And you got 1, 2, 3, 4 different species in here?
Yes, there's, we have the plated lizards.
Yep.
We have the Madagascar swifts, the spiny tails.
Yeah.
Which are really neat, very underrated lizard. We have the green day geckos.
Yeah, one on the wall right there.
Yeah, there's one on the wall right there. That one, if you zoom in on it right there, if you zoom in closely, that one was born with no front leg.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem to be bothering her.
Where?
Yeah, she bounces
wall right
around.
there. This one has no front leg, guys. It's born without a leg, and it's doing just fine. And it has no spots, too. Very light spots. They usually have crazy, like, orange or red on their back. So cool, man. Reptiles are so tough. Imagine me being born without an arm, and I'm still gonna climb the wall.
Yeah, that's what she does. It doesn't seem to bother her at
Another one
all.
right there by the light.
Yeah, that one. These guys love to eat fruit, and every couple of days I put in like a banana or something like that for them to lick. They have a sweet tooth. Yeah. I got a sweet tooth too. But
Yeah.
yeah, so that's my New Year's resolution is going to be to give up sugar.
I'm trying to.
Much as I hate to, much as I hate it. But.
That's the worst drug on the planet.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
So accessible, it's so good. It's
Yeah,
addictive.
it's addictive.
Oh, look at these habitats, man. All right.
Over here we have, this is everything is climatically zoned. And this is like a Mediterranean habitat. And we have, a Greek tortoise in here. We have some stardigamas. We have Berber skinks. And there's some European pond turtles in the water. So this is like what you might see. These are the reptiles you might see on the stream side in like Greece or Turkey.
Wow.
Or someplace like that.
Displaying reptiles from Greece and Turkey.
Yeah.
So sick.
I mean, over the years in Costa Rica, I didn't get to work with any of this stuff from temperate climates.
Yeah.
But,
It's cool how you're able to make different climate and different
Yeah,
zones
it's fun.
and each habitat.
Yeah.
So cool.
the idea of this place is to take the guests there.
Yes, take them on a trip to the wild.
Exactly.
A little window, peek in the window.
You can look into Turkey here, you can look into Madagascar.
You don't see many even zoological facilities doing multiple species in one habitat.
It's not uncommon, we're not the first.
Yeah, I've seen it before, but not often.
The thing is, a lot of U.S. zoos, their hands are tied, by bureaucracy, and
You can't do too much.
yeah. I've got my own problems, but that's not one of them. All right. This is a baboon viper. Okay, I'm gonna wash my hands. I'll let you explain.
Yeah.
I'll let you explain to the camera.
Guys, check out this. So, you can find these probably like Rwanda, Congo. Beautiful animal. If I didn't think Gabon, also the Gaboon viper from Gabon. And if you look down here, crazy camouflage. Dead leaf litter. The snake can blend in. They can stay still for weeks. And just, as Quetzal was saying and talking about, a lot of reptiles live off a scent. So they'll lay on the scent trail. The snake is also known to have the longest fangs in the entire snake world. So there's no other snake that has the longer fangs than these guys, longer teeth. I think they get up to like 2 inches. Basically hypodermic needles. They get pretty decently big as well too. Probably the thickest bodied venomous snake as well. Yeah, man, really cool. The Gaboon viper. Very close, you can find the rhinoceros viper. I'm not sure if he has some in here. I wouldn't be surprised if he does. Yeah, man, this place is phenomenal. Phenomenal, guys. There's so much more to see, but there's actually too much to see in one video. Behind us is a gigantic crocodile monitor exhibit. The sailfin dragons in there, crocodile monitors. If you guys are big real reptile fans, especially Varanus fans, you know how hard everybody has had a really hard time breeding crocodile monitors in America. Quetzal comes here and breeds them in 8 months. But he has also the size of this habitat is bigger than what we've ever seen for croc monitors, and it makes sense why they're gonna breed just like that. So give you guys a big round of applause to Quetzal for breeding some croc monitors in record time.
Thank you, that's much appreciated. If you swing the camera around, that lizard's not always out.
Ooh,
It's a very underrated underrated lizard. It's called a Solomon Island ground skink. But when you pick these up, their claws are razor sharp, like a tree monitor.
Yeah.
And they go all the way up. This is a 2-story cage, and they go all the way up into the canopy. So it wouldn't be surprising that if in the wild they spend a lot of time off the ground, they just call them ground skinks because that's where they collect them.
So these right here are actually the biggest I've ever seen of Madagascar ground boas. I thought they were, is it the same as Dumeru boa?
Oh no, that's something different.
Different, right?
I believe that these get a little larger than Dumeru's boas.
Dude, these are big.
Yeah, these are big. These are old animals too. This female, the one you're looking at right now that the camera's on, she was born in '93.
Oh, she's same age as me.
Yeah. But these have it's an island animal, and they have tiny litters with huge babies. The babies, they'll have like 2 to 6 babies, and the babies are about 2 feet and about this big around when they come out. And
Like Anaconda almost.
right, but I mean anacondas have big litters.
Yeah.
So it's often island species have very long lifespans, and they have big babies, and so for that reason I'm not worried about her being too old to breed. I've seen some action there. There's 1 male and there's 1 female and 3 males in there, so she can take her pick.
She's definitely sexy
Yeah,
mama.
she is.
Wow, man.
All right, over here, I'm gonna zoom in. This is one of my favorite lizards. This is a Crocodile Teu from South America. These have been unknown in captivity until very recently. Reason being is they're primarily a Brazilian lizard, and they just get into marginal areas of Venezuela, Colombia, Suriname, and Peru. But it's primarily a Brazilian lizard. Brazil hasn't exported since the 70s. But a few dedicated people in Suriname and elsewhere have gotten these into captivity, and they're very, very interesting. There is, in this cage, we have 1 male and 2 females, and we bred these a couple of times. And to start out with, the male got with the first female, got her pregnant, had some babies, and then when he was trying to get with the second female number 1 was not happy about that. I've got it on video of her attacking him and
She's
biting
like,
him.
not my
Yeah,
man.
not
You
that.
ain't gonna do that with her.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a friend of mine from Honduras who's the woman who's rather attractive and animated, and she was narrating the whole event. When we were here, she's like, "That's crazy. He's gonna be sleeping on the couch tonight. You see that?"
Sounds like my wife.
Yeah, right. I can see that. I think she'd be talking with her hands.
Wow,
But,
man.
okay, there's more on those later. Those lizards are super interesting. Oh, all right. This is a neat snake over here that very few people work with. This is called Grayus smithi. It's an African water snake. These come in any color you can imagine. There's another one in here. The one we saw the other day.
Yeah, it's a different
That was
one, huh?
black and banded.
Banded, yeah.
Some of them are beige, some of them, I'm sure there's more colors out there. These get quite big. I think the record is 2.5 meters, which that's up there. It's about
water snake is massive.
Yeah, it's about 8 feet.
Yeah.
They live in mangroves and as well as regular water courses. One of the interesting things about them as well is like about 20% of their body is tail. And it's like, it's not most snakes that have long tails. It's like kind of like the same logic as a lizard. It's something
Prehensile.
it's something that can snap off.
Yeah.
But these they don't have delicate tails. It's a long muscular tail. And I think the reason for that is you see how she's hanging out. If a predator were to come by, she'd have her tail anchored. She'd be able to pull herself back in
quick,
the blink
yeah.
of an eye.
This guy is sharing a habitat with one of the top gangsters on the ground in Africa, the
Yeah,
African
rock
rock python. One of my favorite pythons.
Yeah, it's a
on
very
the planet.
underrated big python.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people work with these because they're not exactly friendly.
Yeah,
But that doesn't make them any less interesting. They're the most active big python that I've ever worked with. These guys cruise all around the cage and in the water. And I was reading that in some places in some habitats in Africa, they can be described as aquatic, and they'll forage underwater. And there's records of them eating fish, and
Wow.
they'll ambush their food. Exactly like an anaconda would. They'll wait at a drinking hole with just
Yeah.
their nose sticking out and wait for something to come down and get
I
you
believe it.
drinking.
Wow, man. I think there's actually a video I seen of one of these guys grabbing an impala in like a little mud pile.
Oh,
a
I'd
little
like
mud
to see
hole.
that. Yeah,
I
send
sent
that to
you.
me. Cheers.
So cool, man. And if you guys, those are the plated lizards too, huh?
Yeah.
Hanging out with them next to it. So sick.
Yeah.
So sick.
These guys are not bothering each other. I mean, a lot of people, question what we do, but I mean, the aim here is it's an educational park. We like to take the guests here. As a guest, we'd like you to see what you might see, in an African riverside. I mean, obviously we have to be careful with what we put in, but this cage has been working out. We've had no problems as long as everything eats different stuff and they don't get in each other's way too much. It can work.
That one's really active. The one in the back. She hears you talking and put her head up.
Oh, the plated lizard?
No, the snake. Look, all the way in the back.
Oh, okay. I didn't see.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Look.
That's the one that came through the water
Yeah,
yesterday.
that's the male. Oh, is it? Or is that the water snake? I can't see.
No, I think that's a rock python.
Yeah, it's the rock python. It's the male.
And if you guys don't know, you got, your reticulated pythons, your anacondas, berms, and African rocks, amethystines are all in the same category as big snakes.
I can pull out a blood python for you. Oh, yeah. Blood pythons are, I was never into them until recently, but, they've captivated me with the charm. Very, very beautiful snakes.
Python Curtis, huh?
These are the Burger Somai.
Burger Somai. Gotta come check these out. Wow.
And there's another one right here.
Look at that, baby. Laying right next to the leaf litter. Mm-hmm. Crazy
There.
ambush. And think of a little mouse, a little squirrel.
Something interesting about blood pythons is that these thrive in the oil palm plantations in Indonesia. So much so that there's commercial ventures for skinning them.
Yeah.
And they're not based in the plantations. They're not based in natural habitat.
Yeah. These are the boys over in Borneo, Sumatra also. They feed their king cobras.
Oh,
with
yeah.
pythons. Some of their favorite foods, they say. And
Makes
makes
sense.
force.
Yeah, there's a lot of footage of king cobras trying to eat retics and it going wrong.
Yeah,
for both
going
of them.
wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, pythons are a lot smarter than most people give credit
Very
for.
smart.
It seems like when they get grabbed by something and know to go for the neck.
Yeah, I'm gonna squeeze you to death.
They go for the neck. Skinks.
Monkey tail skinks.
Yeah. The female, the one up on the top, she's 42 years old. It's another example of an island species. These have a baby once every.
So you mentioned that twice. Why are island species living so long?
Well, I mean, it's from lack of predators, and they've evolved to, as opposed to like a shotgun effect, like a green iguana, when they have like 40 eggs and 90% of them get eaten by predators.
Yep.
These don't have to worry about that, so these will have babies that are, they don't need to do that. And they can live a long time, and if they have a baby every 18 months and they live for 50 years, that's
Makes
the
sense.
population still, the numbers
Like
work out.
the Galapagos.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow,
Yeah, it works
interesting.
out to the same.
Interesting.
But one thing that's neat about these is these are good parents. These will ferociously defend They're babies, the male and the female. I mean, if there was a baby in here, you know, when you go in this cage, you better have a snake hook.
I heard they got some nasty teeth.
Oh
too,
yeah,
huh?
this is, you see how this finger here goes up a little bit?
Yeah.
That was from getting bitten by one of those when I was in my teens.
Oof.
They cut the tendon and it, you know, this one goes a little higher.
Oof. No bueno.
No bueno.
No bueno. It's like I'm a little kid in the candy store.
Yeah, that's the idea, you know, it's never, we never grow up. These are, over here, these are some Omana Lertas. It's a species that's not often worked with. I just recently learned that in Oman, that's the only place in the Mideast, there's a mountain there that is actually tropical forest, either because of something with the currents or whatever, and at the top of that mountain, it's like jungle, rainforest, which I never knew. And these live on the periphery of that, and a little lower.
So sick.
Yeah, interesting.
I find it cool, like, Quetzal's been studying reptiles and amphibians 50 years, you know, and you often hear him say in this conversation, I learned something new.
Oh yeah, it never
always
ends.
learning,
you know,
always learning.
Yeah, it's never ends. You know,
Never ending
it
game.
take 50 lifetimes to learn everything about reptiles, and even then maybe. But I mean, that's the fun part. You know,
I love that,
it's
man.
discovery and
That's what it's about,
all of that.
guys. That's what it's about.
I'm going to take a second to show you this.
Damn, he's
snake here.
big. Oh, she's big.
Yeah, that's a girl. Okay, people are always talking about how emerald boas are difficult to acclimate and difficult to keep in captivity. And how, you know, you have to be very careful with not to feed them too much. You have to be careful with the temperature. I mean, none of that applies in this case because, okay, you see how this is a very high cage? This brings the stress level down to nothing with this species. And you can feed, I feed her big meals, I feed her frequently. You know, there's a lot of temperature fluctuation. And
She
she's
can figure out where
perfect.
she wants to go.
Yeah, and she's been here for years. No, but the stress is everything. You know, even as human beings, if a human being is stressed, you're going to get sick.
Yep.
You're
You're not
gonna-
gonna be able to breathe.
you're-
You're not gonna want to eat.
Exactly.
It's all
Exactly.
whacked out.
Yeah. So it's like, you know,
Beautiful.
Oh,
So
this,
beautiful.
Yeah, this is a snake. It's
My
dear-
favorite
it's dear to
snake,
your heart.
one of my favorite animals, probably pound for pound, my favorite animal on the planet is the green anaconda. And this habitat is just, lovely.
You know what we should do, Mike? We should go to Bolivia and find the Benny anaconda.
Bro, that would be dreams.
Yeah, that'd be a
Say
dream.
less.
Okay, and you gotta
Say less,
You gotta
guys.
witness.
You guys see that? You see that? We're
Yeah.
gonna go to Bolivia and we're gonna get
Yeah,
deep
fine.
in anaconda language because they just reclassified them too, huh? With the
Okay.
is it a Kaima or something
Oh
like
no,
that?
they tried. That was a disaster.
Yeah.
that was a disaster.
School us on that. What's going on with that?
All right.
Give us a general.
The general description is that they tried to reclassify the green anaconda and they didn't do it right, and they tried to sink the Benny anaconda and to say that those were the same as the Dischanzii, which is from northeastern Brazil and French Guiana. Say that those were the same, and that's yeah, that wasn't the truth.
Didn't go
but,
too well.
But as currently understood,
Most people only think it's only green and yellows, but they have no
well, those
idea.
are the common ones. But,
Yeah.
the rare one is the one I just mentioned, the Dischanzii, which, you know, like I said, I was telling you yesterday when I was in Costa Rica, a surprising number of biologists from French Guiana came into my place, and I was always picking their brain. And all of them told me that, you know, the Dischanzi's anaconda, that those lived in small creeks, and in French Guiana that the green anacondas lived in bigger ones. And they said they were very, very rare, and that, you know, some of the people had been specifically looking, that spent about a decade there, and just found about 3 of them.
Wow.
So those are rare. But from what I understood, the bennies are not difficult to find. I got a friend from Dominican Republic who interned at a zoo in Bolivia, and he actually told me that there was like a fish slaughterhouse, you know, where they process the fish for market. And he said that the Benny anacondas would be waiting by the river and they'd eat the pieces of fish that people threw in. He didn't have any video of it, but I mean, that would be something for us to do.
Check out, go scope it out.
Yeah.
Man, that would be crazy. Huh?
Hopefully my Dominican buddy
Pull through.
yeah, he maintained good relations with anyone down there, so we could get the data.
There's a few animals in here I've never seen in my life before, and there's a few animals I've seen thousands of them, and the biggest ones I've seen are here. This fly river turtle is massive, absolutely massive. I've seen them in Australia. I've seen them in all types of zoos all around the world. Singapore, Thailand, you name it, Dubai. But I've never seen a bigger fly river turtle in my life. He's not here. Oh, he's coming right now.
Here she comes.
Dude, massive, man. It's massive.
You're familiar with the breeding biology of these, right?
No.
Oh, no? Oh, it's off the hook. All right, here's what they do. Let's get this on camera because it's super interesting. I'm sure everyone's seen, footage of sea turtles getting slaughtered on nesting beach by crabs and gulls and raccoons, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But that doesn't happen with these guys because they'll lay their eggs on a beach and the sand, and then the eggs will go into a diapause. Okay.
Diapause, what is that?
That's like they'll stop developing.
Okay.
So they'll be fully ready to hatch, but they won't hatch until they're deprived of oxygen. And the logic is like when the rivers rise, they're deprived of oxygen, and then they just hatch right out into the muddy water. Or during a heavy rainstorm, they'll hatch with the rain, and there's going to be no predators out in driving rain. Yeah. And they're going to get washed down to the river, and they're going to get a head start, with the rain and stuff. And
No way.
there's a lot of videos online, you can look it up, of them having fly river turtle eggs that are ready to hatch and dumping them into a CO2 chamber and they hatch, or just
I gotta check that
or dumping
out,
them into just a glass of water and they hatch.
What?
Yeah, it's fascinating.
What? Guys, learning so many new things about animals that you've always loved your whole life is so cool.
These are also very long lived. There's one at the Bronx Zoo. I forget what his name is. He had some cute name. Came to the zoo as an adult in 1967, and he's still there.
What a
Looks
dinosaur.
great. Yeah.
1967, still going. He's huge, huh? Same size, huh?
That
Yeah,
size.
I can't see them getting bigger than that, man.
Yeah, I think that's about maximum size.
Yeah, that is fat turtle. Man. What's up, little buddy? My friends over in Jakwat Satwa is the name of the crazy zoo in Indonesia. And they had like 50 fly river turtles like living outside in their aquariums and stuff. But they were never that big.
Really?
Never that big. So cool, man.
Over here we can look. We got some Cuban boas over here. Like you can pull it down.
I would love to.
Like this, a lot of people don't know this, but Cuban boas are second in size to anacondas as far as the largest boas.
Wow.
They get bigger than common boas do.
Really?
And there's records of, from 100 years ago of them getting close to 20 feet.
20 feet.
I mean, nowadays, a lot of them get killed, so
Yeah.
That's a snake that size would be very rare, but the historical records are valid. You can pull it out.
The snake.
If you want to take her outside in the light,
Yeah, for sure. Guys, look at this. What? Also, I want to show you guys in the light the iridescence. Wow. What's up, mama? You're okay. Look at that, huh? I mean, it's weird. The head scales almost look like feathers.
Yeah.
It's
interesting. These are the only Caribbean boas that have pits. You can see the pits on the face.
Yeah. Look at that, guys. I seen a photo a long time ago of a huge one.
Oh, one of the ones from Guantanamo?
Yeah.
I've seen that picture.
Huge, man.
They're tremendous snakes.
So sick.
Something interesting, like on the evolution of these as well, is like Cuba has something along the lines of 17 different dwarf boas that live there. But baby Cuban boas come out huge.
Yeah.
They're about 18 inches, and it occurred to me that maybe the reason why baby Cuban boas come out so big is because they're ready to eat mammals and birds right away, so that way they're not in competition with the dwarf boas as far as lizards. Because the rest of the Caribbean boas, like the Bahamians, Puerto Ricans, Jamaicans, Dominicans, all those babies come out small and they're lizard eaters.
Wow.
Not the Cubans.
He was like, no, we're gonna go straight to the
they go
birds
straight
and
to the big
mammals.
stuff. Yeah.
That's so cool,
But
man.
I mean, that's maybe obligatory because they have so much competition with other dwarf boas.
I had a guy a long time ago when I was a kid tell me that rainbow boas are so close to anacondas, just by the patterns.
I believe that's true. I think they did the
Look at them
that's right.
side by side, it's like dust.
Yeah.
Pretty sick, man. I love boas. Boas
Yeah,
are
same.
emerald tree boas, Cuban boas, anacondas, rainbow boas. I mean, dude, the list goes on. Some of my favorite are the Dominican red mountain boas.
Oh yeah, we got those
sick,
too.
dude.
I like all the Caribbean boas.
Yeah, man. What an animal, guys. Check that out. One of Cuba's top predators. I mean, even the Cuban crocodile is a crazy crocodile to have.
Yeah, that's my favorite crocodilian.
Yeah, they can jump up and chase you. They'll run after you. They're no joke. Super athletes.
There's an interesting thing I learned about recently as well. That they found fossils of Cuban boas on Abaco Island in the Bahamas, where there was no standing water. So it was like there used to be a terrestrial population of Cuban crocodiles there. They used to eat. There was a giant tortoise that lives there. They found in the same fossil site. They found tortoise fossils that had marks of the bone of bites from Cuban crocs on them. And there was other giant birds and giant mammals there. But when all that stuff died off, the crocs died off too. But it's real interesting that they're capable of
And they have like almost like a monitor lizard ability.
yeah, exactly. They gallop. And they're smart. I saw them the place where Ewan and I worked in Canaries. We had them there, and when we'd come with food, they'd come in, they'd go into the water, and they'd like play a zone. Like a zone when you're playing basketball.
Yeah, you stay over there. You go over there.
Each one would have their thing, and it was the exact distance from one another to the wall, to the shore, to this, and then they would share the food. They'd squabble a bit, but that would have been. I mean, this was before the days of drones, but that would have been something really cool to film with a drone.
Oh,
and then zoom in on the distances and see how perfectly they get it.
Yeah. So cool, man, to see so many reptiles from all around the world, know the history about them, cool stories from in the past. I love it, man. I absolutely love it. I know you guys are enjoying it too. Everybody on the channel, I don't post much, but when I do post, I want to give you guys quality, real content, real nutritional value of what you guys are going to be hearing, learning, and just taking home and putting on your notes as well too. So hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. We got one more thing left to see. We saved the best for last. Let's go.
Yeah.
Boom.
Okay, boom. It's funny you say it boom because this name is Boomy.
Boomy.
We gave it an Indonesian name. Like most Komodos, he's curious.
Yes. Guys, how sick is that?
This was also, this came from the San Antonio Zoo. This was supposed to be, it was known as a problem dragon. But Ari's wife, Ryu, has done a beautiful job getting this lizard manageable. And we take it out to let it walk around the facility on Mondays when it's closed. There's people who frown on that type of interaction, but I mean, nobody can deny that if you have a big, potentially dangerous animal, that it's a lot better off if you have it accustomed to humans and manageable, because sooner or later, it's going to have to be moved, or it's going to need medical attention, or whatever. So you're going to want something that's manageable. It's safer for the lizard, and it's safer for the handlers.
I mean, I don't think anybody wants a problem with the Komodo.
No, exactly. they can really hurt you.
Yeah, man.
But the Komodo that I had in Costa Rica was a female, and she liked women better than men.
And this guy's a young male, huh? How old is this guy?
I believe he is 6.
6 years old.
These guys live in a world of smell, so he's curious about the smells that we have on our hands.
And what's this guy's feeding regimen like?
He gets piglets, he gets chickens, he gets rats. There's a problem that develops with Komodos in captivity because in the wild they're designed for dismembering stuff, or not dismembering, just pulling it apart. And there's a couple of cases of males in U.S. zoos that have broken their necks when they ran into walls because their neck muscles weren't fully developed. But in the future, like when like I said, we're building a bigger cage for him outside. We're gonna set up some stuff, like we're gonna tether meat to the ground and stake, get him to work out those muscles. It's more of a problem with males than it is for females for whatever reason.
See, I want to get out. I want to hang out.
Yeah, he's curious.
It's a big animal, and he's still a baby.
Yeah,
technically. I was in Rinca some years back.
These are from almost all of the captured dragons are from Rinca. Because the ones from Rinca have the lighter pattern. But
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah, the Komodos that you see on TV are typically
dark.
Typically blacker. Yeah.
You think the ones in Rinca are smaller or bigger than the ones on Komodo?
That I can't say. I don't know for a fact.
In my mind,
if anything, I would say probably smaller.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's not based on anything.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna put them back.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, come on, baby. Hold it up, please.
Yep.
Thank you.
He just wants to hang out.
Yeah.
Wants to play. Wants to see his papa.
Yeah, there's so much more to these guys than we give them credit for.
Yeah. And what, they'll max out at like 12 feet? Oh, what do you think, 10 feet?
I think it's an interesting tidbit, now that we're on that subject. I think the biggest dragon on record is 10, but, interesting fact that I've heard, actually the biggest lizard ever scientifically recorded was not a Komodo, it was a water dragon. I mean a water monitor.
Water monitor.
From Sri Lanka that was 10 feet 3 inches.
I heard about that.
So it's, technically that's the biggest lizard, modern lizard on
that's
record.
Crazy.
But, in Salvador, it will get longer.
Yeah.
But Komodo's average the biggest.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a loaded question.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
When was that 10'3" one measured or documented? It was a long time
I
ago?
I would have to look it up. I believe the guy who documented it was a well-known Sri Lankan herpetologist.
Yeah.
Whose name was something Daranagala, Eric Daranagala, I believe it is.
Yeah.
And he's, his word carries weight. So,
There's a photo of one. I'm not sure exactly where, but you can just see it swimming. But the neck and head is so thick and big, and like, wow, that's a big ass lizard.
Yeah, it's a big.
I've had one myself that was massive.
Yeah, they get big.
It's like 8 foot 7 inches, and but I know they get much bigger.
Yeah, and that's the biggest. I mean, it's like the ones from Sri Lanka aren't going to make it into captivity.
Yeah.
And
Crazy, man.
Sri Lanka would be a nice place for a trip.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Make that one happen too.
Okay, cool.
Living in Sri Lanka.
Yeah, nothing wrong with dreaming.
Hey, we can make it happen.
Yeah, no doubt.
Love that.
All right, bro.
Guys, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. So many cool reptiles.
Thank you for the views.
Come visit Reptilandia in Texas, and soon I'll be a Texas neighbor as well.
Yes, exactly. We're looking forward to it.
See you guys soon.